brought to you by TELUS.
Hi, I'm Mike Agarbo.
And I'm Mariam Murtosh.
And welcome to AppTV. Today we're focusing in on the apps that deal with one of the human senses, my second favorite next to taste.
Okay, these are the apps that deal with your eyes. It's all visual today, my friends, so don't blink or you might miss something.
To start things off, let's have a look at an app that comes standard on iPhones, iPod Touches, and iPads. Welcome to Photos.
As the name implies, the app lets you access your photos. Now, it won't let you make a photo album on your device, but you can make a slideshow, use a picture as wallpaper, and even email a photo or two to a friend.
Pinch to zoom in on your picture, finger swipe to navigate through your pics, and double tap to fill the screen with the photo of your choice.
Here's something super cool. By clicking on the Places tab, you can see a map that not only shows you where the photos in your photo library were taken, but also the exact photos that were snapped there.
That's a great way to get started, but there's a lot more to see on our tour of visual apps.
We're moving from the pictures you take to the pictures you make with a look at some drawing apps that can really bring out the artist in anyone.
The sky's the limit when it comes to all the things we can do with technology these days, but even with all those options, some of us just want to draw. But you don't need a pencil and a pad of paper anymore. With the help of a few good apps, you can do all that on your iPad. Don't believe me? Then check out these next apps. Starting off is Brushes. This app is a bit of a celebrity in the art world. It was used to create 4 different covers for the New Yorker magazine, and it won the Apple Design Award for 2010. Brushes uses the iPad's touchscreen interface as a drawing canvas. Of course, there are some serious features that come with an app like this. There are 19 brushes at your disposal, as well as a playback feature, a zoom capacity of 3200%, a toggle visibility feature, and opacity adjustment features. But these features are only there to assist you in the creative process. The drawing apps rely on you to meet them halfway. You can certainly adjust and mess with the work of art you've created, but you need to create something to get the full use of the app's abilities. Next on the canvas is Sketchbook Pro. This app is no slouch either, as it was Macworld's Drawing App of the Year for 2010. Similar to Brushes, Sketchbook Pro gives you a canvas on which to create. Whether you're a graphics designer, professional artist, or just enjoy doodling and sketching, Sketchbook Pro lets you create on the go. The features here are similar, but you have 75 brushes rather than the 19 that Brushes has. There are pencils, pens, stamps, markers, and a smear tool, and a whole bunch more. And just like Brushes, you can adjust the opacity, rotate, reorder, and scale. There's also a text tool with all the fonts on your tablet at your disposal. Looking closer, you'll find that these apps share some of the same problems, like price and the iPad's lack of pressure sensitivity. But the pros still outweigh the cons. Sketchbook Pro is definitely easier to learn on and therefore less frustrating to create on. It also offers a wider range of artistic tools like brushes and markers with which to create. Lastly, options that you have when exporting your final masterpiece are also greater on the Sketchbook Pro. Other things that both of these apps share is the need for the user to be artistic and to create something. Let your artistic genius flow and illustrate to the world the true power of art in the purest form. I call this one Frozen Darkness, and this one Love in the Springtime.
They're a little off the beaten path, and they may even seem downright strange to some. You can use many words to define them, but uninteresting isn't one of them. Here are our Hot 5 experimental apps. Starting things off is Oozu. This app is best described as a kinetic multi-touch particle visualizer. What does that mean? Particles will twirl in a vortex of color and motion. You can control these particles by swiping along the screen. Multiple touch points will produce unique effects. You can even freeze your effect in 3D for even more mind-blowing visual action. Next is Record Makers, an app that combines surreal art with a 3-slide mix and match game. With just a swipe of your finger, you can combine surreal images by mixing up the top, middle, and bottom sections of the screen. Mix and match to create strange and, dare I say, psychedelic images of all sorts, shapes, and sizes far out. Moving on, we have Wind Tunnel. Draw obstacles and watch in wonderment as the fluid flows around the object you've just created. Adjust the wind speed or just kick back and relax with free mode. Create objects of different sizes and shapes and watch the effects unfold. Next up is Animation Creator. Have you always wanted to be an animator? Now you can become one in that old-fashioned flipbook style. Using the brush tool, you can draw frame by frame. The onion skinning feature allows you to lay your previous frame under the frame you're working on, creating a more fluid action. Once your sequence is finished, hit play and watch it all come to life. Disney, here we come. And finally, we have MyReef 3D Aquarium. This app is ideal for those of us who'd love to own a giant saltwater aquarium, but don't want the mess, the cleaning, or even the hundreds of dollars to purchase and maintain one. You don't have to go 20,000 leagues under anything for this experience.
Looking good is always in fashion, and keeping ahead of the style curve isn't an easy thing to do, trust me. Some of the most contemporary art being done right now is out on the runways. Fashion design is more than just a topic for a reality show or tantrums from prima donnas, and designing outfits takes a massive amount of creativity. Believe it or not, you can get into this world and check it out all for yourself with a little app. Meet Style Studio. As you can probably guess, Style Studio is a fashion design app, and it can help declare war on any wardrobe. And this isn't about mixing and matching what you already own. This is about creating from scratch. The Style Studio is a place to actually design clothing. From dresses to suits, shirts to scarves, you can personalize designs with an array of different style options. There are 75 base clothing choices to start you off, including accessories. And this isn't just limited to the ladies. The app also includes male fashions as well. Experiment with color, material, and designs to make your trend-setting, one-of-a-kind fashion action come to life. Once you have something put together, head into dress-up mode to see what your creation looks like on a model. Turn your designs into magazine covers and photo shoots. You can even import your own photos to turn you and your friends into fashion models. Style Studio is fun to play around with just because there are so many variations and outfits to create. The app is intuitive and easy to use and surprisingly flexible. You won't be pulling a Naomi Campbell waiting for this app to load. But all kidding aside, the fashion business is a serious one, and the app can be useful for any designer who wants the freedom to create on the go. See you on the runway. Coming up after the break, we'll see if an app can replace the mighty pen and paper for you writers and artists out there.
We're also going to take a look at an app that deals with tiny blobs that need to make bridges and buildings in order to survive.
That sounds surreal.
It is, it's cool. All that and a whole lot more when AppTV continues. Welcome back. The power of art should always be accessible, and now with apps like these, you can carry the tools to help create your own artwork or just access existing beautiful works of art on the go. Here are our Hot 5 art resource apps. First up is Palettes, which lets you create color palettes quickly from a website, photo, or color scheme. Export and import palettes from a range of different programs, including Photoshop and even Illustrator. Forget having to go to the paint store for color swatches, they're all right here. Next is Art. This app features the work of over 200 famous artists, complete with biographical info, galleries of their work, and links to find out even more if need be. You can also opt to save images from the web so you can create your own custom gallery. On to Tracing Paper, an app that lets you trace any photo on your phone or tablet. When you're done, save your drawings to your device and email them to the world. If people thought your photos of birthday parties were awesome, now let them marvel at your tracings of your photos of your birthday parties. Next up is Graffiti Spray Can. Fire up the app, shake the can, and start tagging. You have multiple designs, spray sizes, and colors at your fingertips. It's like being Banksy without the mess or secret identity thing. And lastly, we have Tiny Pixels. Create pixel art on the go wherever you are. Simply choose a canvas and start making that pixel icon action happen. You've got various drawing tools at your disposal, so whether you're in your Cubist phase or if you're going for more of the Warhol pop art look, you'll have the tools to make it happen.
You know how you look at some apps and you ask yourself, what were they thinking? Well, this is one of those apps, and that question will bubble up into your brain when you see it, but in a good way. Welcome to World of Goo. The first thing I have to say is that this game has a great look to it. It's fun, and the graphics really reflect that with its simple design and easy gameplay. And while the design may be simple, that doesn't mean the gameplay is. After all, it is a puzzle. The idea here is all about construction. You drag and drop little balls of goo into a formation that helps you achieve your objective. What's your objective, you ask? To fuse balls of goo into bridges and towers to overcome obstacles, of course. You need to know that there are limits here in the World of Goo. And by that, I mean you have to make it to your destination in a limited amount of moves in order to advance to the next level. Make sure you use as few blobs as possible though, because if you use too many, you'll have to start all over again. The artistic elements of the game remind me of something Tim Burton and Dr. Seuss would have created if they got together as kids. There are interesting features like OCD, obsessive completion distinction, that allow you to retry levels by going faster or using fewer moves before you reach the escape pipe. As you can probably tell just by looking at it, it's a physics-based puzzle game. And like most games, the levels get tougher and tougher as you move along. But as you advance, you also gather more balls of goo, which you can keep in your World of Goo corporation. I mean, who doesn't have one of those these days? In your corporation, you can challenge other players to a building competition and win by building the tallest tower. World of Goo has 4 chapters and close to 50 levels to play through. As I said, the game gets tougher as you move along with obstacles like cogwheels, spikes, water, and even rotating saws. With those dangers in mind, ask yourself if you're up to the challenge of building structures out of living blobs of protoplasma that have a need to constantly escape the area they occupy through drain pipes. I can't believe this isn't in production as a feature film yet.
Here we are again, the segment of the show that best illustrates what makes an app interesting. First on the list for today is iNap at Work for the iOS. And you guessed it, it lets you nap at work while it emits working sounds. No one will likely notice you sprawled out on the floor or under your desk. Certainly not while a tiny phone emits simulated work sounds. Your employer will likely hear you working away, and that will be enough for them. Sleep on. Good luck, Costanza. Next up, Hard Awakening, which may sound very much like a Vin Diesel film title, but it's not. It's actually an alarm that uses terrifying sounds to bring you out of sleep. However, if that's not enough for you, you can record your own alarming sounds to wake you up. You can also import sounds and songs from your iTunes collection, perhaps something by William Shatner or Bruce Willis. That's enough to scare you off sleep for quite some time.
It has been said that the pen is mightier than the sword, but is the app mightier than the pen? Are we at the point where these devices can replace good old pen and paper? We want to share 2 apps with you today that may make you reconsider putting pen to paper, in a literal sense anyway. First off, we have Pen Ultimate for the iPad. And whether you're a student in constant need of note-taking materials or a high-powered executive also taking notes but of a different kind, Pen Ultimate is our app of choice. As the name would indicate, the Pen Ultimate app is aiming to replace the physical pen and paper, and it does a pretty good job of it too. When you first open the app, there's an excellent tutorial that starts you off to make sure you get the most out of it. From there, you can scribble away. The app offers 3 paper styles for you to choose from: graph, lined, and plain. And there are options for pen thickness and colors as well. Now that you know what you're working with, how does it actually work? Using your finger as the pen, you make your notes on the screen, and now you're writing. When you're finished, you can save your handiwork and export as a PDF. But before you even get there, you can fix your mistakes, reorder your pages, duplicate pages, and do all the things you'd expect in a document editor. There's also a wrist protector to make sure you don't smudge all over the place when you lay your arm down as you write. This is a godsend for all the lefties out there. Now, all of that sounds great, but it's important to note that there's no text recognition feature here, so your notes will remain a handwritten note. This is where WritePad comes in. Similar to Pen Ultimate, WritePad is here to eliminate the need for pen and paper. But the main difference is the recognition software that converts the handwriting to text. With a little work, the notes you've written can become a document to hand in at school or a memo at the office. You can write, cut, paste, and save just like the previous app. The WritePad app even has a built-in translator. All in all, both apps accomplish a similar series of tasks, but the end product is radically different. So if you're just making notes for yourself, the cheaper Pen Ultimate is just fine. But if this is something you intend to do work on for school or the office, WritePad offers a more professional finish.
For the amateur or professional web designer, we've got an app that can make that job a lot easier. That plus a whole lot more after this break. We're back in a moment. Welcome back. Giving kids a way to express their artistic side is an important part of growing up. And the fact that you can give them that and not have a mess to clean up after they have artistically expressed themselves is even better. Here are our Hot 5 children's art apps. Let's begin with a look at Preschool Connect the Dots. Aimed at kids between the ages of 2 to 6, this app does exactly what its name claims. The game includes fun sound effects and various categories like transportation, musical instruments, and animals, to name a few. Next up, we have Shape Builder, a virtual puzzle game. Drag the pieces into the silhouette to assemble the puzzle and reveal a picture. The game lets kids work on their cognitive thinking and motor skills, not to mention just plain puzzle-solving abilities. When finally assembled, the puzzle will speak to you. No deep conversations or anything, but it will speak to you. Moving on, we come to Highlights Hidden Pictures. Inside the fun illustrations are a series of hidden objects, which you have to find. Once you have found each object, the picture is complete. The game can be made more challenging with the Clues feature or easier with the Hints feature. And as you may have guessed, the More Puzzles tab reveals, well, more puzzles. Next up, we have Drawing Pad, a drawing app for all ages. You're presented a series of tools, as well as stickers, backgrounds, and more. Cheaper and cleaner, I might add, than a box of crayons. Drawing Pad is an art studio that travels with you wherever you go. And finally, we come to 123 Color HD Talking Coloring Book. The Talking Coloring Book teaches numbers, letters, shapes, and oddly enough, colors in multiple languages, including English, French, Spanish, and more. This talking book sure seems to have a lot to say.
Windows Phone 7 features a calendar application that'll streamline how you schedule your life. To launch the calendar app, you'll need to begin on your start screen. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll find an icon shaped like a rightwards facing arrow. Select it and then tap the tab entitled Calendar. The calendar application will automatically begin in Day View, allowing you to see a scrollable list of today's events displayed in an hourly format. Slide the title bar right to left and you'll switch to the Agenda view. Now you can view a breakdown of all your scheduled events displayed in a daily format. To view an entire month on screen, tap the calendar icon furthest right. It's located on the button bar at the bottom of the screen. Slide your finger up or down to scroll through the different months. To view a specific day, tap its date and you'll switch back to Day View. The easiest way to create an appointment is to first browse to the date of your event. Once you're in Day View, tap the time you like the appointment to begin. This will bring you to the New Appointment screen. Here, you can enter the event's subject, location, and duration. To reveal additional fields, scroll down and tap the More Details tab. Here, you can set a reminder to alert you about the event prior to its scheduled start. Simply tap the Reminder tab and enter a time interval. Next, tap the Occurs field and choose the frequency you'd like this reminder to occur. To remove an appointment, tap the event while you're in the Day View. Next, locate the trash can icon. It's on the right side of the button bar, located at the bottom of the screen. What you want to do is tap it and a confirmation window will open. Select the Cancel tab to preserve the appointment or Delete tab to erase it. Now that you've familiarized yourself with your new calendar app, scheduling will never be a headache again.
Art is more than painting, drawing, or photos, and design is just as important. There are a lot of incredible designs on the web that can come from having to navigate through screens of code and some clunky desktop app. Well, that's all in the past now, as you can make your own beautiful site right on your iPad. Whether you're a professional web guru or just want to kick around some ideas and be creative, then check out SketchyPad. This app gives you the power to create websites to show to your clients or to your friends. SketchyPad also allows you to create an iPhone and iPad app interface mockup. So basically, it's an app that can help you make apps. SketchyPad removes the need to work out your idea on paper first by giving you access to a variety of stencils that can help you assemble mock-up websites. Besides, paper is sold 5 years ago. You can design all aspects of the website, from text to graphics to buttons. You can easily import photos from your album to get a feel for the image layout. Start off with a blank screen, and from there, fill it in with virtually anything you have in mind. Choose different stencils and different elements like buttons, media, and text to help you create your website or app. Touch, drag, resize, and adjust in that wonderful way only a tablet can provide. As you get further along, the detailed work will begin, involving fonts, color, and alignment. Experiment and mess around with the design. If the idea of messing around scares you, you can lock what you like and keep changing what you don't until you're happy. This app is an incredible tool for web designers of any level, although it would be nice if you could rotate your elements in your design. The one issue I have is how easy it is to move stuff around before you lock it in place. You can knock items around by accident as you attempt to zoom in and out. Sometimes it can look like bumper cars while you're trying to be artistic. But I guess that's why they added an undo feature to counter those accidental moves. You know, the more mobile we become, the more people are going to start viewing sites on their smartphones and tablets rather than their PCs. So why not make and evaluate your web designs in the same way? There's something about making a website on a tablet that really frees the artist within. There's no clumsy mouse dragging, and you can kick back on the couch while you create. Now, isn't that appealing?
We're almost out of time, but we've got one last thing to look at before we go.
Well, did you know that you can get deals simply by going to Facebook and to the places within the Facebook app and selecting check-in? Well, one of the first partners within Canada to support these Facebook deals was TELUS.
TELUS often has deals. Be sure to check in whenever you're in a TELUS store to see what deals might be available. You can even share those deals with friends so that everyone can get in on the action.
Well, there are even ways you can raise money for charity, all just by checking in.
That's my favorite.
Of course.
Well, I see we have come to an end of the Visual Apps episode.
That really should have been my line. Thanks for joining us here on AppTV.
What the heck? See you next time. AppTV is brought to you by TELUS.